In sport, there are athletes that you can always count on. Athletes that are 100% trusted by their coach and teammates to be the person to step up and make the difference. Athletes that fans would bet their life savings on to come in clutch when the result is on the line. But why is this? Why do some athletes inspire so much confidence in others around them? And how can you achieve this for yourself? Well, to become this kind of athlete, you need to become backable. If you become backable, you have an aura, you have a presence, and you have opportunities thrown at you from every direction. And the good news is, every athlete can become backable. And this video will tell you exactly how, so that you can become the impactful athlete that you're destined to be. So let's get started. Right, let's break down what it really means to be backable. Picture this, you're going on a long road trip with your friends. It's a 10-hour drive and you have to choose the car that will get you there. One car is flashy and fast, but keeps breaking down when you need it most. The other car might not be as fast, but it's reliable, always gets you to your destination, and doesn't quit on you halfway. Which car are you going to trust for this important trip? Well, you're going to pick the one that gets you there every time. In sports, being backable is exactly like that reliable car. It's not about being the flashiest or most exciting. It's about being the athlete that everyone trusts to get the job done when it matters most. Your coach, your teammates, even your fans know that when the going gets tough, you won't break down or disappear. So what are the actual traits that athletes need to show in order to become backable? Well, firstly, above all else, you have to show consistency. Being backable means showing up every day, whether it's practice or a big game. I know this is such a basic point, but if you consistently put in effort and stay focused, your coach and teammates will know that they can depend on you. Consistency builds trust, and trust makes you backable. Think about Lionel Messi, Nikola Jokic, Patrick Mahomes. No matter the situation, you can consistently rely on them to deliver the goods. That's why their teams trust them to lead and perform game after game. Then next up, you also have to show adaptability. Backable athletes adjust to whatever is thrown at them. Maybe the game plan changes last minute, or you're asked to play a new position. Instead of complaining or freezing up, a backable athlete embraces the challenge and makes it work. There is no hesitation, just a desire to do the job given to you, even if you've been given no preparation time whatsoever. And then finally, you also need to always bring a positive energy. Backable athletes lift up their teammates. They don't need to be the loudest or the most vocal, but they bring a positive attitude that keeps the team moving forward. Whether you're winning or losing, if you stay focused, encourage others, and lead by example, your team will trust you when the going gets tough. It's the likes of Ronaldo and Kobe Bryant, the athletes who always believe that things can turn around for the better. Their energy increases the effort and belief of those around them. It becomes contagious and everyone suddenly feels prepared to dominate and just get the job done. So when you show that you're consistent, adaptable, and a positive influence, people will trust you to be that steady hand when the pressure's on. But this sense of being backable can quickly be destroyed through a few other traits and characteristics, things that are super easy to fall into the trap of. So I've got to share some of these as well so that you can be a bit more cautious. Because even if you show the 3 traits that we've discussed, a little smudge of these other ones can actually ruin the perfect picture of you being backable. So the first one is inconsistent effort. Look, consistent high performance is difficult in any sport because of so many different variables at play, but you can always be consistent in your effort. So if you're someone who only gives their best when you feel like it, or you take it easy during practice, your coach and teammates won't know what to expect from you. Maybe you'll perform well one game, but then disappear the next. This inconsistency will cause people to lose trust in you. You become the flashy car that breaks down halfway through the trip, unreliable when it matters most. Next up is another super obvious one, but it's so common, and that's complaining or making excuses. Unbackable athletes are the ones who complain when things don't go their way. Maybe it's about the referee, the weather, or not getting enough playing time. If you're always blaming something or someone else for your mistakes or poor performance, it shows a lack of accountability. Athletes who make excuses come off as weak under pressure, and coaches will be far less likely to trust you during important moments. And then lastly, the unbackable athlete is someone who always shows signs of fading under pressure. I'll be upfront in saying that the vast majority of athletes shrink when the going gets tough. Maybe they play great in training, but then fall apart in competition when the spotlight is actually on them. If you let the pressure get to you and your performance drops in key moments, your coach and teammates will notice. The athlete who folds when the game is on the line is quickly seen as unbackable because people can't trust you to deliver when it actually matters. Anyone can play well and have a good attitude when things are going well and are easy, but when things are hard and not enjoyable, most athletes go missing. So being unbackable will seriously hurt your career. If your coach can't trust you, they'll start looking elsewhere when it comes to key roles or game time. You might be a talented player, but if you're unreliable or inconsistent, opportunities will slip through your fingertips. Think about the difference between being a starter and sitting on the bench. The backable athletes get chosen for the starting lineup. They're trusted in critical moments and they get the attention of scouts, selection committees, and future teams. But unbackable athletes, well, they miss out on these chances because no one can be sure that they'll actually perform when it counts. Coaches will look for other players who are more reliable and mentally tough. You could have all the talent in the world, but if your coach thinks that you'll crack under pressure or not give full effort, you're at risk of losing your spot. Over time, this can stop you from progressing in your sport and you might miss out on scholarships, contracts, or other big opportunities. Becoming backable isn't something that happens overnight though. It's built through daily habits and behaviors that show people that they can count on you no matter the situation. Just like training your physical muscles, you need to train your backable muscle every single day. So let's now break down 3 key behaviors that you can start working on to build that muscle. One of the most straightforward but powerful backable behaviors is showing up early. It doesn't matter if it's a practice, a meeting, or even just an informal workout. Being the first to arrive shows commitment and dependability. It sends a clear message to your coaches and teammates. You're serious about improving and that you can always be relied upon. Take Cristiano Ronaldo, for example. He is renowned for not only his incredible talent, but for his relentless work ethic. Even as one of the greatest footballers of all time, he is known to arrive at the training ground long before his teammates, even since joining Al Nassr at the end of his career. He uses that extra time to work on his skills, conditioning, or recovery, setting the tone for his performances. His habit of being early is one of the reasons that coaches and teammates trust him during critical moments. They know that he's always prepared. So how can you build this into your routine? Well, start by making it a goal to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early to every training session, meeting, or event. Use that extra time to mentally prepare, work on a specific skill, or even help a teammate. It might seem like such a small action, but over time, this consistent habit will make you stand out as someone who is always ready and dependable. And that's the foundation of being backable. Secondly, backable athletes are the ones who also thrive under pressure. But that ability to stay calm and deliver in high stakes moments doesn't just happen automatically. It's something you can practice, even in the smallest details of your daily routine. A great example of this is Jonny Wilkinson, one of the greatest rugby players of all time. Wilkinson was famous for his kicking, and it was his legendary drop goal that won England the 2003 Rugby World Cup. But that clutch performance in the final moments wasn't luck. It came from years of relentless practice. Wilkinson would spend hours after training kicking balls over and over again from different positions, visualizing the pressure of a real match with thousands of fans watching him. He would recreate the game's intensity in his mind and train himself to stay calm and focused no matter how much was on the line. So when the real moment came, right at the end of extra time in a World Cup final, Wilkinson's preparation allowed him to remain super composed and deliver that winning kick. You can do the same by building small moments of pressure into your daily practice. For example, when you're practicing penalties, free kicks, or even sprints, set specific high pressure goals for yourself. Like, I have to make 5 perfect kicks in a row or I'll start again. This forces you to focus and stay calm under pressure, training your mind to perform when it matters most. By simulating pressure in training, you build the confidence and composure to step up when the stakes are high. And over time, you'll become that teammate that everyone looks to in those critical moments. And then finally, being backable isn't just about what you do during games, it's also about what you do in everyday life. So one of the strongest backable behaviors is keeping your word. Doing what you say you're going to do every time. If you tell your coach that you'll stay after practice to work on a skill, do it. If you promise a teammate that you'll help them with their drills, do it. It's these small commitments that build trust over time. Athletes like Tim Duncan were known for their reliability. Duncan wasn't the flashiest player, but he was respected by everyone because he always did what was expected of him. He always showed up, put in the work, and delivered without fail. Coaches loved him because they know they could always count on him to follow through on his commitments, both on and off the court. To build this behavior, start by setting clear, actionable commitments for yourself each day. For instance, you might say, today I'll dedicate 15 extra minutes to working on my passing accuracy with my weaker foot, or I'll stay after practice to give my teammates some feedback on their defensive positioning. The key is to create promises that are achievable and realistic, and then actually consistently follow through, regardless of how tired or busy you feel. As you honor these commitments, your coaches and teammates will begin to see you as a reliable force, that you're someone who consistently delivers, and that's the true essence of being backable. But to also be backable, you essentially need to become someone who's always willing to go all in. But to do this effectively without burning out, you should check out this next video here.